Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today it's a lovely Sunday, cool, probably about mid-70s. We had a bit of rain last night, so I thought I would come down to the shop on a day like this and do a little bit of plating. You know, there's various pieces I'm going to show you today, what I'm going to do, ranging from yellow chromate, zinc plating, I think it's black oxide coating, I think they call it, or black chromate, I don't know. You've seen me do plating before, but I thought this is a nice variant. There's a lot to do, so I'm just doing it in batches. This isn't everything, but I thought I would show you again the process. For instance, these are the backing plates to the rear axle. This is where the shoes are, the drum shoes are, and the adjuster and all that good stuff, where the handbrake cable comes through. They're not in bad shape. I thought while we're in here, we'll clean all this old rust off and get these replated. I've got to remove the outer seal here, but that's one item. These are the brake, these are unique to the 109 6.3, I believe. I don't think they're on the 3.5, but these are rear brake hold downs. I think this is to stop the car raising under heavy braking and losing control and, you know, losing the rear end. I've already stripped these, all the grease and crud off. They've been in to the blasting cabinet, and there's a few little pits of rust I need to get out of there. I'll blast that out and polish those out. So that's that, and there's a little bit of surface rust because they've been sitting around a little while. This is one of the front cones to the air suspension. Now, I think his name's Ron Benscraft in Australia. Now this has a slightly rough surface here. I have one that I'm going to replace that is heavily pitted, and he made a good point that that can actually accelerate wear on the bags because they have to slide up and down these cones. And I replated this one, but I wasn't happy, it wasn't smooth enough, so I'm going to redo that. It won't take long. Put a finer wheel and get it a nice smooth finish, and then replate that. These are the rear shields on the rear brakes. I'm going to remove these brackets. I'm going to coat these with a black chromate, I think, instead of painting them. These will get painted obviously, but this I'm going to plate while I'm here. This is over by the pivot point of the steering arms, you know, the idler arm. This is a little cover that goes on there. I'm not sure exactly the reason they put that on, but I thought I'd plate that, you know, instead of just painting it. I might do that in yellow chromate, but we'll see. Anyway, so that is that. These are the thrust arm plates that go on the front, that hold the bushing for the front of the thrust arm. I believe these were painted. And then they get a lot of coating over them anyway, but while I'm here, I've degreased them, got all the grease and crap off of them. I'm going to strip all that rust off, and I'm not sure, I might put those in the black chromate, you know, give it a coating, zinc it and then black chromate it, we'll see about that. And these are various brackets and things I have to clean up. So, first things first, I'm going to take these seals out of these backing plates so we can put it in the muriatic acid and get all of this initial coating off, and then we'll take it over to the blast cabinet, blast any out of all the pits. Now you can get away without the blast cabinet because I haven't had that very long, and I've done plating without it. You just got to be able to clean with a wire brush into all the pits, but it really helps having the cabinet. It does a really nice job. This is a caliper that I polished up after the blast cabinet. You see, it gives it a kind of dusty look, and then I just give it a quick polish on the wheel, and then that's ready for plating. So let's get it started. Out to the muriatic acid, or the tank of death, like I like to call it, because it's horrendous stuff and you always want to do that outside. So let's go and do that. Well, first things first, if we're going to do these, we're going to have to get that seal out of there. So punches out this way, and obviously because we're replacing, we're not too bothered about it. So give it a good whack with the drift, catch it on that little lip there. There you go. So knock that seal out, you see, it's just a ring, just punch that out. So let's get these in the muriatic acid. This ring, this other outer ring here, it came adrift, but I think that's just a wedge fit here. that we'll tap on afterwards. I'm actually going to remove this one so we get a nice clean coating, and then I can reattach it. Like I say, it's just a wedge tight, so I'm just going to gently tap that off, that outer ring, and then I'll get back to you. I'll just use a bit of wood and then gently tap it around. Okay, so we're outside now. I'm going to put a mask on, but basically I put a few miscellaneous brackets and what have you now, and I'm going to throw all these guys in this little rack here, get these stripped off as best I can, leave that cooking away for about 5-8 minutes in the muriatic acid. So I'm going to put the mask on now. You can see it's steaming, doing horrible stuff. I'll put that in there. Let me get you a close up. You can see what nasty stuff that is. So that's taking off all of the original coatings. Get it as clean as possible, and then we'll rinse it off thoroughly, and then wire brush it, and then it'll be ready for the degreaser bath, and then the zinc plating. Right, let's see after about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to stay away from the fumes because I don't have my mask on, but I'll give that a sloosh around. You can see how it does. It strips all that stuff off. It's pretty amazing. It needs to go in for a little longer. See, all the old crap is rinsing off of that. So then we can either go into the blast cabinet or just give it a burnish up, depending on if it's got any pitting. Let's get that back in now. You don't want to leave stuff in there like for a long time, because I think stuff's so strong it might affect the metals, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm going to rinse this lot off. If it needs to go back in, it can. Just want to see how it comes out. Plus the missus has asked me to come up for breakfast, so let me rinse this off. Come here. You can see that this cradle I use, it flash rusts and it cleans up every time. So it may need another going over. I didn't want to leave the stuff in there while I had breakfast, you see. So that's come out pretty nice. That probably won't go back in anymore. See how clean it comes up. All the rest can come off with a little wire brush attachment. I'll use my airline to dry it off so it won't flash rust. It may get a little surface rust on it, but that's not a big deal. Okay, this is the backing plates after they've been out of the muriatic acid, all ready for wire wheeling and plating. So as you can see, they do an amazing job. Look at that. They're clean. There's a few little black residues I can wire brush off. For instance, I just put this cone back in and literally ripped off that zinc plating like 2 minutes, I'd guess, not much more than that. So what I'm going to do is use a finer wire brush on that and just replate it again so that it's smooth for the bag to run up alongside. Right, okay, this is the next stage. I'm just going to take this piece, you know, that cover for the steering pivot idler arm thing. So I'm just going to, this has been already through the blast cabinet to get all the deep pitted rust out of it. I'm just going to give it a quick fine wire brushing so it's ready for zinc plating. So let's just do a bit of that. Doesn't take long, just to get, see, just shines it up quick. And this is kind of a bit of a fun thing, you know. I know that originally it might have been painted, this piece, but I'm going to put a bit of yellow chromate on it because I think it looks kind of cool, gives it good protection, and why not, you know. You got to watch it with these small pieces. You don't come in like that because that'll rip it out of your hand. So, and then this piece, I'd say this is a fine brush, just like that cone on the front suspension. I was using too rough of a brush, you see. This one, it's a little bit too coarse. This one, see, it's don't even hurt your finger, so real fine, give it a nice polishing look. And this will come up lovely, you see, with zinc plating on it. And on the inside, I'll probably use my die grinder to get in down there. That's up at the shop. I'll go and get that in a minute. So these are all the parts ready for the degreaser tank. These backing plates, as you know, I blasted those in all the crevices, cleaned them up with the wire wheel, cleaned that cone back up, brackets, bolts. This is the bracket for the denatured alcohol canister, and then various other bits and bobs here. Here are the rings. So getting all those ready. We're kind of working in batches, so this is the next batch. Right now we've got the hold down clamps. Let me show you that. So being plated right now. Show you that. Lift those out. They're getting the zinc plating, and they will go in after that the rinse. Get that nice and rinsed off, wash it off above the tank. There's a pickle rinse, that's a 5% muriatic acid solution, just to etch the zinc just ever so slightly before it goes into the black chromate. The black chromate rinse, then it gets rinsed again. Oh, actually, sorry, the pickle rinse after the pickle bath, okay? Then that gets washed down, then it goes into the black chromate, and then rinsed and then hung up to dry. Right, over at the plating area now. I've done various parts already, I'll show you in a sec. But these are the two brackets off the back plates of the rear brakes. And I'm going to put these through a black chromate or black oxide finish, I think it is. So I'm going to set those in the plating tank. Probably put those in for about 10-12 minutes or so. Fairly low amperage. Let's just set those in the solution. That will make the circuit here 3 amps, and we'll do that for about 10-12 minutes or so. Then it will go into the zinc rinse off, then rinse off above, a pickle wrench for etching the zinc, and then that will get rinsed off, and then we'll put it in the black chromate, and I'll show you that. Let me show you what I've done already. This isn't the first time I've done the black chromate, but these are the brackets. They've come out, they're just drying right now. There was a couple of areas of discoloration, so I put them in a little bit longer, about a minute and a half each actually, into the black chromate solution. Now these are the obviously thrust arm plates. All I did was zinc plate them. They're also going to get painted as well. I did that for a bit of fun, you know, really, to be honest with you. I mean, they're just brackets under there, but that's zinc plated, you see. Looks kind of cool, but I'll probably paint that up as well, and it'll get all the under seal under there. But I'm just doing that for a bit of fun, that one. So I was going to put that in the black chromate, but it's too long for my tank, so it's not a biggie. So they're the brackets here. They're just drying. You know, I had a little discoloration in some of the corners, but soaking them again in that for another minute kind of took care of that. So they're looking pretty nice, instead of just painting them up, you know what I mean? So they were in, a pair went in for about 20 minutes or so of zinc plating, and then it got the coating. So that's those. So we're going to finish off the black, and then we're going to move on to the yellow chromate for the remaining parts. All the bolts and little bits and bobs, the backing plates, they're in the degreaser bath, and then the other rear calipers are in there. That's the degreaser rinse bath. Oh yeah, I just changed the battery on the camera. Okay, so that's coming out of the zinc rinse, and we always rinse it off above it, make sure we don't cross-contaminate the next tank. Then it's going to go into a pickle bath, which for about 5 seconds, and that just etches the zinc slightly to enable the next process to take. So that's that, and then we'll get that into a rinse down here out of camera here. I'll bring you down in a sec. Like I say, we've gone into the pickle bath rinse that off again, and then this is the black chromate. Now it's going to go in here for about a minute, I think. Gentle agitation. Okay, there you go. and gently into the rinse, just one dunk there, and then we'll just set it up to dry. So you can see that's come out pretty nice, pretty straightforward. Right, okay, for the next one I've got a half a rear caliper in here. It's been cooking away for about 20 minutes now at 5 amps, and that is enough for that. So I'm going to get that in the rinse again, get that a good rinse. This one's obviously going in the yellow chromate. A little bit of gunk still in there, I must have missed that, but anyway, never mind. So that goes in the zinc, into the pickle bath for a couple of seconds, just till it starts bubbling basically. You know that that's etching it. See, it comes out kind of really silvery there. That a good old rinse off. And then I don't like to do too much of the yellow chromate. I was unhappy with a colour that was too strong when I first did this, so I just stick to around 15 seconds in here. And a very gentle agitation. Don't go slushing it around everywhere, because any of you have seen my first video on this, it forms a kind of a skin and you can tear it. So it's about 15. Gently pull it out, let it drink, and then I'm off camera, I'm just placing it in the rinse, a dedicated rinse to the yellow chromate. I dip it in twice, very gently. I learned from previous mistakes. So, and then just gently out, and you can see, let me see with the backlight there, you can see a little bit of mess up there I must have missed, but just leave that to air dry. There you go. Yeah, a little bit of black in there, I must have missed that, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's got coating. That's good enough for Chuck's boat, as they say. So let's get that off camera here. Now, I did notice, let me hang that up, the black on one of these yolks, it's got a weird colour. It's got a kind of strange olive green colour to it. I don't know whether you can see that. I'm going to have to redo that. So I don't know what happened there. So never mind. I just wanted to show you that the mistakes can happen. And again, I'm not sure what happened there. So I'm just going to have to restrip those again and put those all through again. But never mind. Not the end of the world, is it? So we're going to try again. I blasted them. I dipped them in muriatic acid and blasted them again. And I'm not going to polish these up. I'm going to leave them this flat look. See how that works. So it says in the catalogue that is a way to do it, you know, without doing it with a wire brush, just using that kind of blasted look. There's a couple of little crevices I want to finish up, and then we'll go back round and see what we're doing wrong here. And that's it, straight out the black chromate bath. It's obviously going to dry to a nice flat finish. Much happier with that, much more consistent results. Now this is one I've been looking forward to, the back plates. This has been in for about 20 minutes now. That's all plated up. See, it comes out kind of real silvery when it comes out the pickle rinse. Alright, there we go. So we're going to put this in for around 15-18 seconds. Gentle agitation. There you go. So that's got to dry now. Well, real nice. Takes on a higher sheen as it dries as well, I've noticed. They'll always look a little dull, and then that kind of two-tone colour kind of comes out as it dries. So let's get that one up there. Okay, as you can see, been doing okay, so here's all the plating I've done today. It's not a great deal of stuff, but I mean it took me a little while to get the everything prepped up and everything, especially these yokes, because I stripped these again. I wasn't happy with the way they came out, but as you can see, they're drying right now, but very nice, even, flat black. See, none of that weird green. I think I must have just, I don't know whether they got contaminated or whatever, but anyway, they've come out really nice. As you can see, as they dry, they get that kind of two-tone effect. See, there's a caliper in the back, this is the back plate, so they come out really nice. Another back plate, caliper in the back, various nuts and bolts, and brake line holders, that little thing there for the idler arm on the steering. So I'm just finishing up tonight. I'm gonna do the other hold down yokes, these black things, and then I'm done. So while I was waiting, I was doing a bit of blasting in the cabinet as well for other suspension parts that need just painting. I could have just painted these really when you come to think of it, but I thought had a kind of a cleaner look, that, you know, nice flat black like that, give it a nice contrast with the paint, you know. Anyway, whatever. So that is that, and like I say, I'm working on the rest of them. Got a few more bits to do. That cone again, and then that plate. Like I say, I didn't need. I plated that thing, and to be honest with you, that'll probably just get painted anyway. I just did that as an experiment, really. And it's too big to get into my black chromate tank, so I was going to blacken it, but my tank's not big enough. So I think I'll just leave that as it is and then paint it up. So let's. We've got a few more minutes of these cooking away. As I say, you want to really. I should have my gloves on. Hold on a second. So okay, these are the other two yolks just cooking away there. They look kind of grey and dark, but once that goes in the pickle rinse, that will come up all nice and shiny. Okay. I'm running at a... oh, lost connection there. There you go. See, constant current at 5 amps. And they're working out, you have to work out the square inches of each of the pieces. A simple calculation, then times that by 0.14 to get your amperage rating. You've got to account for both sides of an object, obviously. And then I plate for around 15 to 20 minutes. On the smaller parts, maybe not quite as long. If it was a part that was, you know, you really want some extra plating and some protection, maybe go a little longer. But these, say 5 amps for these two at around 20 minutes should be plenty. Well, thanks a lot for watching today, guys. Took a little longer than I was expecting. It's nearly just gone 6 o'clock now. So main thing I learned was make sure your preparation is good. Those black yolks had a little discoloration. I'm not sure what was going on there, but just redid them again. I dipped them in the muriatic acid and restarted. I didn't shine those up with a wire brush this time, and it actually gives it a kind of a flatter look, you know, more of a matte finish, so if that's what you're after. So yeah, a lot of little fiddly bits, still got a lot more to do, a lot of painting to do of all these suspension parts. While I was waiting for those to plate up, I was doing some you know, blasting in the blast cabinet. I didn't show you much of the blast cabinet because there's plenty of videos of people setting up blast cabinets, nothing special really. I bought a cheapo one, and definitely buy a good gun because that makes all the difference, otherwise it's quite frustrating. So anyway, I think that is all I wanted to touch on today. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and probably in the next video I'll get cracking on that welding again, so now the weather's all much more pleasant. So please hit like, share, subscribe, and remember to join us on the Facebook Mercedes Maintenance and Mercedes Rescue sites, and I will see you there. It's a good place to ask any more detailed questions, or if you wanted to PM me for anything in particular. So anyway, Thanks again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.